Hi there, and welcome to Nerf News from the Owl Ranch, Season 2, Episode 18. Sorry I wasn't here for the midweek edition. I was very busy. I was helping a friend move for a couple days, and he was offering to pay me $100 plus a free tank of gas to help him move into 2 storage bins, which was really cool because that helped me get ahead for the month, and it beats the hell out of $1 an episode for Owl Ranch, where everybody says, I can't read the screen, and the lighting's terrible, and the sound's awful, and everyone expects you to be Spielberg around here, but, I just say, nope, you don't like it, go watch something else. I'm fine with that. But if you are keen to get in the real Nerf news, the real information, the real goods, I've got it this week. Because there is a lot of, it's kind of a nightmare this week, We got wrecked with their CO2 powered blasters. Not that they're going to be too fast at 90 feet per second, but they're CO2 powered, which explicitly goes against, I think, every NIC rule I've ever seen. Says no air or CO2 other than pump, no pre-charged pneumatic, no CO2 tanks, no HBA, no LPA. You can go pump action. Let's say like a 2K or maybe like a 3K. Where did I put it? Oh yeah, that's back here. Yeah, maybe you can go 3K and you can throw you can throw brass barrels on here. They'll let you do that. They'll let you go old school. I mean, it was really interesting because me and my friend Nate, we were at Disneyland, and we were talking about how much more simpler it used to be to mod Nerf blasters and to get into the industry. And that you just needed a Corolla barrel, and you just needed a piece of PVC, and boom, you had a 2K, and you had enough material to mod like 10 blasters. It was very easy to get into it. To mod a crossbow, it didn't take much. To mod, and then now it's very competitive. You got kits that cost $200-$300. You got stuff that just costs a lot of money. It's becoming a little bit more of a buy-in kind of thing, but I still say that's still about innovation. I mean, let's put it this way. Make the original Ultra Fire Strikes. I didn't buy a kit for that. To make the Chronomag, I didn't buy the kit for that. No. Okay. The only things that are aftermarket on this thing, spring, which you'd buy a spring anyway, magazine, which you buy a magazine anyway, and a stock, and you know what? I guess all these aftermarket parts. Yeah, I guess it has become a little bit more like that. It has become a little bit more competitive. But what do you think? Do you think it's more fun to be this way, or do you like the old-fashioned way of the Nick better? And with Armageddon 20 coming up, this is a very serious question to ask. Should it have stayed old school, or should it have gone new school like it is now? I mean, I was thinking about that all the way home, like, I really like playing competitive. I really like, shooting darts at people from very far away, and I think that that's a fun factor to have. But in all honesty, is something missing there, or is it just, I can see opinions both ways. I can see them going both ways. It's a really interesting thing to think about. And I also went to Galaxy's Edge yesterday, so I have a lot of fun little footage I'll put at the very end. Just little tidbits like I did that one time before. But for right now, let's get to the news, shall we? Because I give you the truth. A little dark in here, ain't it? Let's turn on the LCD. Get to the news. What do we got on first? What do you think? What do you think it's going to be? Well, okay, so this right here, wrecked CO2 powered dart guns. Right now they are coming out with 2 models. One's called, I believe, the OP6, and one's called the OP4. Don't get all pissy at me if I get it wrong. Yeah, OP4, OP6. Okay. Well, yeah, OP6, OP4. Okay, 2 models. No, this is not like a drawback model, and no, it's not even magazine fed. It's just your single shotter pop, no prime, no anything. So for sissies who can't prime a real blaster, like let's say an Ultramatch Fire Strike or something like that, you can now get this. But here's the problem. There's major problems with this. You want to tell me what the problems with this is? First off, it's CO2. A lot of people speculating on the power plant. Is it 12-gram cylinder? Is it pre-charged? Probably 12-gram cylinder, I would say yes. But that's beyond the point. Most leagues are not going to allow this. And if they do, okay, until they start modding them. Or how moddable are these? Is it even worth going out and getting these when I can get something make something 200 feet per second and like this, and just grow a little bit of more hair on your chest and less hair on your ass, and make something that is cool rather than buy something out of the box. The other thing I don't like is it's, I gotta say this looks a little too startup company-ish for me. I mean, we all remember Jet Blasters, and they started up and they got me to help them. And then, of course, when, you know, things were convenient, they just decided to get rid of me. And then we saw all of this drama, all these wait periods. We saw something that was nearly designed take another 18 months to do. And you know, we just saw all these problems, you know. Are we going to have the same problems with this? And, you know, I know that this is a product of Humorex, and Humorex has been around for a while, yes, but does Humorex really understand the Nerf market? I don't think so, okay? There's no guarantee on anything about the OP4 either. Like, I look at the OP4, is it semi-auto? Is it full auto? Is it prime? Who knows? I think it's semi-auto, but I can't tell. And also, it's just one color scheme. It's either solid red or solid blue. I don't know, to me it just looks a little junky. And plus, real low resolution. Like, you look at this picture, it's real low. Like, I don't want to show that much detail. This is kind of a trick people do to kind of, yeah. But, nonetheless, okay, can a company like Humorex get into the Nerf market with CO2? I don't think so. I think it's a simplified mechanism to construct. It doesn't require all this designing. It doesn't require new tooling or this or that to make something that you can take that is already existing CO2 mechanism and put it into a ABS shell. But the ABS shell requires tooling by itself. So, reality, I'm skeptical of this, to be honest. I do like the fact it has front and rear sights. That's cool. As we all know, the new Heracles doesn't even have, like, rear sights on it. It just has a little front sight. That's kind of annoying. I like sights on my blaster, especially since I try to hit stuff far away. And plus, I don't really think that going from 70 feet per second to 90 feet per second is much of a thing. Okay, 30% farther, 30% faster. Most of us modders can go 100% farther, 100% faster. Simply by changing out a spring. So... or changing out our motors, or changing out our LiPo batteries, or whatever. Yeah. So, I really don't think that this is going to be big. And plus, we don't know how much this is going to be yet. Could this be like $15.99, $19.99? I'm guessing this is like $19.99 or so. And I'm guessing that M16 looking thing, depending on it being manual prime or automatic auto feed, which, you know, you would need to rival like the Sober Core, which would go open, load it in, and sew, rather than the Super Core, which would be closed, and you would somehow have to be trying. See, I do learn. I do. Yes, I do. It would have to be something like that. You would have to need, like, literally Liam Davis technology, really, to make this, the OP4, to really make it any good. And this is why I'm very skeptical of this. I'm very skeptical of this because of this. And also, I don't really see a means up here to unjam this. So, if this is a repeater mechanism, it has to be some kind of repeater mechanism, right? Unless you're just stuffing them in the front and firing them. I doubt it because it's magazine fed. Where's the unjamming on this? I know this doesn't have any unjamming on it. And a lot of people criticize the Zeus. If you have a certain kind of feed kit, let's say an Alpha or whatever, you really don't have just, but I have had a couple of darts skew in there, and I've had to open this up and take it out, and I've had to, you know, pull the good old, you know, cleaning rod on it and get a jam dart out of there every once in a while. It happens, you know. So where's the unjamming mechanism on this? I don't see it anywhere. It's so undescript that it's just hype, you know, and I hate people that do that. I mean, it really almost looks like a piece of junk. So, I'm thinking this. Let's compare this to something this week that is a piece of junk. Do you want to see it? Wow. This is crap. And it's from a former alma mater of mine, a former disciple, known as Jet Blasters. Look at this crack all the way along here. At 12K. Put in mind, I modded this to 18K. Now, of course, my attachment points here and here, they broke, but my Orange ModWorks sled did not break. Nor did my improvised plunger tube from a Busby Baron break. Nor did my Explorer plunger rod. Nor did my Orange ModWorks trigger or catch break. Nor did anything on this thing break. And I was running 18 kilogram Lowland Spring. As a matter of fact, this blaster, Red October, had the world record for 7 weeks for the world's fastest recon telemeter at 230 feet per second. And it predated the Prophecy, which stole the whole long spring idea from me. Of course, making it that wussy 25 end spring, which I shouldn't call it wussy. It's practical for 14K. And when you put the blaster in hand, it is tactically nice. But let's face it, they stole it. That's what Worker does. They steal it. They call it influence, we call it theft. There we go. Well, this company, trying to be original, of course, are originally a pain in the butt. Look at that. 2 sides even, just here and here. That's nuts. That is really nuts. But even more nuts than even that, which is what really puts Jet in the hot seat today, is their response to it. Okay? I don't know what's going on here, to be honest with you. I think this rod is going too far back and hitting this. That's personally what I think. Is there's no rear limiter. So when people pick springs that have a lot of pre-compression, or not as much not as like pre-compression, but not the room, what happens is it's a 1-2 punch between the priming back and the slamming forward. And I think that that's, yeah, well, you know, not good. This guy put a piece of silicone in it like the Prophecy tubes have. But, now of course, AK Blaster mods, they have an alloy kit. They sure do. They have an alloy metal kit that you can get for your CEDA blaster. But why should you have to do that? For $108.92, I can make a Chronomag for $108.92. A nice Chronomag for $108.92. Is the retaliator form and function really that important? I mean, thinking about it, I don't think so. I don't think it's that important, and I don't think it's that worth it. I'm a person who right off the bat believes that the blaster should be able, at least to be able to take 18K. Right off the bat, right out of the factory. If you're custom making stuff, if you're custom molding parts, it should be able to do it. There's no reason that this plunger tube, which is actually fatter and thicker than the Prophecy plunger tube, and I know, shouldn't be able to do what a Prophecy can do at least, if not more. But even more disheartening was the response that they got from Jet Blasters. Here's Alan Turbino saying that he's waited for Alpha LS parts problems all the way back in September 2017. Okay? Still waiting. I was promised like 2 CEDA blasters to review and never got them. I was promised an Alpha 2 kit, never got it. You know, they kept dicking me around with everything. They kept not promising what they promised to do before. So I just kind of cut them off because I just got sick of them. Long story there, but I'm sure if you follow it, you know, if you follow it, you follow this whole thing, you know. Song Kwon Hee, who works at Black Tactical, came up with a really good suggestion to throw a 20mm pipe around it and reinforce that one part. Which is good, but he's got to say, let's see if that helps. Too early to say. Yeah, but you really shouldn't have to do that. And why didn't they just design it that way to begin with? I mean, seriously. So, and then Alan brought up the thing, you know. Build, customize, play. Well, as soon as you go to customize it, they sit here and they give you crap for it. As a matter of fact, somebody said, well, you should have reinforced it first. Should have reinforced it? This is made to be a modded blaster. Reinforce it? Okay. That makes a lot of sense. We're going to reinforce a blaster that should already be reinforced. Wow. So even after, after they had said, you know, Jet has decided to send me a new plunger, they give him this one. Hi, Rombo. I'm not sorry. I'm sorry, but we're not quite sure what you're referring to. If there's any qualms happening, we could clarify. This is after they agree. So they'll go back and forth, or somebody from, like, someone else in the office will answer and play dumb, but round and round with jet blasters you go. Where you end up, you will not know. I just said screw it. I got rid of it. You know, I said screw it. You know, I'm just not going to deal with these people anymore, and I decided not to. Just don't deal with these people. Don't deal with these people. Support people like Vectorworks or Stukas or Gath and Fuzzy or Nerf Easy or Monkey Mott, who's just done a great job shipping stuff and fulfilling everything. Dude, don't deal with the companies that just don't care. They're in this industry and they don't care. Just don't do it. Even Worker, I think, is a lot better than, I would say, Jet when it comes to trying to fulfill customers' expectations and trying to work with their customers. But what I heard this week about the CEDA, and I got a lot of PMs about it and everything, is just unacceptable. Unfucking acceptable. Yeah. So when one sucky blaster is not enough that is run by Warper bands, what does Worker decide to do? Oh, I know what we'll do. We'll do the McDonald's thing, where our burgers, our unseasoned beef is such crap. We'll just add 2 patties. And then when that doesn't work, we'll add 3 patties. We'll have 3 times the meat, which I'm guessing is next, because here is suckage times 2. The Worker, Wasteland, Ranger 2. As if one sucky blaster wasn't good enough, we got another one that cannot even clear 60 feet per second. That's right. Hey, it may look great, it may look wonderful, it may look this, it may look that. Also, a lot heavier because it's twice as wide. And, yeah. Nobody knows how much it's going to be yet. I'm only guessing it's going to be, if the original one was like $50, $48, I'm guessing it's going to be like $70, $80. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Why can't they make, I know I'm all full of complaints today, I understand. Why can't they make something that is, man, I mean, just something we would love, something we would be happy with? Why can't they do that? Why? And it's like, I hate it when people see a bad idea and they don't learn from it. They're just like, oh, we'll just make twice as much. What? Oh yeah, a kid would love it. It's a nice range for a kid. No, a kid can just buy like a $5 Jolt. They don't have to spend like this kind of money to go $5 Jolt, which, by the way, takes less effort to prime. It's not as complicated. I would really love to see a video where this is in like a 5-year-old's hands and watch him destroy it. I would. But this takes. And they even have video on this piece of junk. You want to see it? Let's just go see it. Why not? Yeah. And the target's like 3 feet away. Oh, it's so powerful. And they even use like motion tricks on the first shot. They don't on the second one, but they even use motion tricks to make it look fast. Like they slow it up to make it look like this is really flying really fast. Hey guys, look, it's really flying really fast. Oh, and you have to hit a wait. You have to hit a switch in order to go from like one barrel to the other. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. It's not even like, dude, you're far better with a triad than this thing. And I can get one of those from the store for like $7, $8. What the hell? It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm sorry, Worker. This is devolvation of Nerf right here. Is trying to make this good by making this a dual shooter. Give me a break. Now this I'm excited about. This is Liam Davis with a prototype ADHD, and I believe he has a silver core, the one that starts open and goes closed. Whereas super core is the one that's closed and goes open. The silver core you can just throw the magazine in when it's not in running, and that's what it is. I know I've been explaining it a million times. I hope I got it right this time. I hope I do. I hope everyone else does too, because everyone else is confused as I am. But the confusion, well, it's okay, because it's a new product. Because unlike Worker, who creates confusion, and it's a crappy product, it's just a new concept, and it's a bitchin' product. This is great. I mean, wow. Watch this, guys. And put in mind, every shot's doing like 260, 280 feet per second. Watch this.
Prototype ADHD.
This is cool. Nice. So goes, closes, fires.
Magazine feeding demonstration. Let's go.
Wow. That's cool. That is really just that's freaking spot on. Again, I like picking aerials, me and myself personally, but wow. Yeah. It has the same limits as the CO2 stuff has. Only this actually does do good velocities, unlike the wreck stuff, which are only promising 90 feet per second. This can do in the mid 200s, and if you tune it up, probably 300s too. It's just that a lot of clubs, Nick clubs, wouldn't allow it. You couldn't exactly play with these in parks. You'd have to go to paintball fields or private play areas to play, and there isn't a lot of acceptance there for HPA. But as a technology, as a core as a whole, it's brilliant. And Liam does great work, not just with HPA, but Springers and other stuff too. I've known him since 2013, and I think this is a really good advance. It uses Talamags. The shell was printed by Flywheel of the World. Adrian went and printed it and helped him out. Yeah, Adrian Ward. That's Flywheel of the World. He went and printed it out, and it's pretty cool. So it's really cool to see this progress and to see this move ahead. And I'm hoping like somebody like Worker doesn't go and steal it, but I don't think so. It's HPA. And it's all self-contained. Like, you can't see in the picture, but it's got a stock, which is a 3D print stock. It's kind of upside down, and it holds the bottle. So you don't have to wear, like, this big backpack thing. You can just boom, 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 boom. Yeah. So, good work, Liam. Really good work. This looks really spot on and nice. And I think there is a place for HPA and Nerf. I just think it's, I also just think it's a little bit more closed events. Or people aren't going to call the police because they're cool. Or not parks. But in the United States, it's almost all parks and schools. So, we'll have to wait and see. I know this is. I've seen this technology evolve from like the Titan Turion to gas powered mag strikes to the ADHD. And I've seen it go for the last 5 years. Just like I've seen the Explorer stuff happen and become a lot more feasible for people to have. And just like I've seen, Flywheel advance as well. So it's nice that something isn't able to be played as much in the United States and still is getting that development. Just like what's happening with Boomtendo and his stuff. He had an interview on Broke Nerfing, and it was a really good episode because he talked about all the advancements he was doing, all the fiberglass he was doing, and they talked about like all the old toys. Like how I got started with all the old toys and everything. And so it was really interesting. And he's carrying Boomco kind of by himself. Well, there's a lot more people doing HBA than just Liam Davis, Josh Mutzenberg and other people as well. But it's, but Liam is really kind of carrying the pack there. And it's really cool to see that. And I can't wait to see in other interests and other things. Just like I was the only guy doing pistols, and then we got more people doing pistols, and more people doing mods and waxing barrels and Merlins and things like that. At some point, you got to be the leader of the pack, and it's really cool to see Liam be the leader of the pack. So Liam, I salute you, man. Good work. Good work. Okay. So the Gen 3 worker darts have come out. They're finally out. They're finally out there. They're finally getting the comparison and the technical testing that they should get. And Bradley Phillips did a video on them, comparing them to his hand glue darts. I still think, according to his videos, that his hand glue darts are better. If you want to check that out, you can go check it out on his channel. Okay. Ergo Morose did one, and it's really funny because the Gen 3s are heavier darts. Yet the Gen 1s go slower. And, of course, that's because of air leakage, bypass of air, that sort of thing. Anywhere from 151 to 168 to 126 to 147. Average of 149 is where Gen 3s did 158, 181, 170, 171, with an average of 167.71. So I think the purple foam and the way that they're glued, they are better. But are they really really good for sniping? Well, you'll have to watch Bradley Phillips' video to find out. I don't use them personally. I hand cut all my darts. Here's mine with the purple foam that I made. A friend of mine gave me the purple foam and sold me back these heads because he didn't have time to do them. So I'm making some purple foam packies for Armageddon. And yeah, so it's going to be really cool. Oh, and let's do an update, shall we, on some wars. That would be really good for right now. Okay, so a few updates on wars. We have, of course, End War, which is going to be this weekend on the, I believe, the 21st and 22nd. It's going to be in Georgia. I think it's held at the university, and I can't go because, of course, I can't afford to go, but it's going to go on. So there's a lot of End War talk going on. There's going to be some news agencies that won't be able to broadcast this sort of thing because it'll be kind of a busy week and that sort of thing. Phone Blast even said that. Adrian Phone Blast even said it's going to be a busy week. I don't know if we're going to make it, that sort of thing. And we have Armageddon 20, which is going to be Staten Elementary, June 29th, 9:30 a.m. I believe they're starting at around 10:30, so get there because you got to set up, talk to some people, that sort of thing. Some old school Nerfers will be there for sure. This will be Spoon's last meet since 2015. So since Armageddon 14, this will be his last meet since then. So that ought to be exciting. And I know the crew's doing it. It's going to be a really exciting game. It's going to be really cool. And the week before, I am holding a war at Old Hammer Park, which is also in Glendora, by Cullen Elementary, which is right next door to Cullen Elementary. 11 o'clock. So we're just going to do a little warm-up and play and everything else. So if you want to show up, if you're in the area, that's really cool. And I'm not going to mention it. I'm not going to mention the war or who exactly. Let's just paraphrase because we don't like to advertise for assholes. But I have a new asshole of the month. I sure do. You want to know who he is? He's the guy who put up a war the same day as Geddon. That's right. So far he has less people going to his war. So far he has less stuff going on. It's a modded stock war. And I say if you're a real man, show up to a Nick war rather than a mod stock war. That's just me. But, it's the audacity he has to put up a war on 29th. And I stayed neutral all this time to this guy in Riverside who has put up wars, and this and that, and fought over the whole name and everything else, even though it's a generic term used in search engine optimization. And I stayed neutral. I stayed cool. Well, I'm breaking my neutrality now. I think that's a bunch of shit. Okay, this war has been going on for 20 years, and you put on a war the same day. I mean, that's kind of a dick thing to do. I mean, the thing is with wars is that when I was running wars early in days, 2013, 2014, I would coordinate with people when are we having wars. The Nick people would coordinate with the HVZ people and the mod stock people, and we wouldn't put our wars on the same day because it kills off the wars. It splits and divides everything. We know that because we've done this for years. The people I've learned from, wise people like Apollo 256, like Baghead, for example, like Cannonball, like Ice 9, who know how to run wars and are veterans, they have instilled in me and other people in the community that this is a very toxic thing to do to a war because you're bringing down the attendance of all wars instead of furthering it. And I've seen times in the periods of the Nick where wars just slowed down because of this. Well, apparently this guy just doesn't get it. And doesn't get that this just bites the whole community in the ass. Divide and conquer is not a good way to have better wars. Better wars will prevail. Worse wars will fall. But if you try to do them on the same day, you're splitting up the amount of people who go to war, and that hurts it. So, there's our asshole of the month. I'm not even going to put up his event. I'm not even going to show you who it is. I'm not even going to give him the privilege of knowing that. But Scoon is putting on a good war. And we may even see even more than that. There is some news of possibly more happening, but I'll keep you posted. If it does or doesn't. It's nothing confirmed yet, but yeah. Might become a 2-day event. Could happen. But without anything solid to put on the news yet or anything, all I can do is allude to the fact of they're talking about it. And that would just be a great payback for other SoCal Nerf war people that like to put up events the same day as Gidden to kind of eat it. It's a perfect revenge. So until next time, this is Chris Cartaya saying, don't you go changing, or I'll find you. Oh, Galaxy's Edge, we're gonna crash the Falcon. We're gonna crash the Falcon.
We're the worst pilots
In the...
all of Black Spire Outpost.
Oh yes, we're gonna crash the Falcon.
Also, if something breaks,
What?
got my Sonic Shoe right here.
Oh, let's check it out. Oh, look at that. Nice.
Like repair. So the we should have had a shoe go back there. Yeah. Oh, we didn't want automatic repair. Now we're gonna do better.
Push the flashing button to take off.
Love to do that next time.
Pilot on the left. Move your stick to fly right and left.
Crash, right now, crash.
Say that pilot on the right. Pull back on the stick to fly out.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Keep crashing.
Oh yes. Crashing. Oh no.
Crash into the wall. Go for the wall.
Oh yes. Oh, we're trying to crash it. Yes.
Go for the wall. 93%.
Now let's go get that coax out. Right pilot.
Oh, look at that.
Jump to
We're
light
already
speed.
at 72%. No. Come on, when you shoot things... Oh, it doesn't anyway. I wonder what happens if you shoot a gun at light speed.
There's the train. Those heavy guys are protecting the train. Take them out. Lock on to us. Take an AC down.
Come on. I'm trying to evade them. Oh. Chris, you can hold me down.
Yeah. Oh, I can? Oh, nice. Nice. Did not know that.
There it is. After that train.
Go through the wall. I'm doing it. I'm going.
Not letting up.
It's much more.
Well, we crashed into it before it fired the harpoon.
Power up the ship. Well, I grab the blue axiom. You see, just as I promised, my friend, now that the resistance has what they need, maybe I need something to help them. Pilots, line up behind the train. We can harpoon that last car.
Oh my God.
Behind the train.
You're behind the train. I'm behind the train.
The center. It's harder than it looks.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Oh my God.
Oh, it's selection. Fire the missiles at the train.
67. Fly into it. Fly into it. Oh, yes.
We can do this. We can do it.
Oh, God. We're trying to crash it.
3%.
3%.
Nope. That's right, we can still die. Did you even hit hyperdrive?
Hit it.
No.
Your hyperdrive has failed. Pilots, evasive maneuvers.
Hit the rocks! Hit the rocks!
I'm trying to. We're trying.
Okay, alright, hit the
No,
rocks!
stop shooting them.
Okay, alright. Go, alright!
He's the last.
Oh, 1%. No, we can't.
Watch out!
Oh!
That's going to be great job, Patrick. You retrieved
Damn it, I wanted to get a photo of that.
That's awesome!
greatly helped the resistance.
What
You
percent?
have heard the first
One.
order and
One.
made Chewie proud. Now after my modest profit,
It
you
probably won't
got
go below 1%.
minus what you owe
Well, let's
me
see
for
what the
damaging
fun
the
is.
Falcon.
Oh, I want to go negative.
It's rough.
Oh my god. 1%, friends. 1%. Holy crap.
Time for you to go.
People get lost down here, they do.
If the engineers know repair stuff, you can have the front end turn right on fire.
Now, Chris, do you know what happens when you come down here and you get lost? You see this guy right here? They saw him out and they go, ah! That's right.
And then you go,
Yeah. Chris is just a little psycho.
sorry.
That's okay. No, I'm Chris. Me, Chris. I was just a little psycho. You're fine. You're cleared.
We're all Chris now. We're all.
Man, the last time Roseanne Barr went through here, she made this wall. Oh, yes.
Everyone is Chris, no one will be.
Yes. When everyone is Chris, no one will be. That's great. Is it impossible to crash the Falcon? It might actually be. Why? 1%. One. But we just couldn't die. We're trying to die and we can't die.
I told him going in, one of my souls was, I'm tired of being the engineer. Okay, I'm trying to talk the other day. Just don't put any buttons in the back. Let's see how we do.
The mistake of only being through before having no engineers, and then it turned on auto engineers.
Yeah. So we need one engineer with nobody in there and just sitting there and letting us burn a Millennium Falcon flames.
Crash the Falcon again. Ours was definitely screwed.
Oh, look at that cute little guy. How are you? Hi, Kevin. How are you? Is my finger tasty? Oh! It's a little
He said
love
he's
now.
tasted better.
I bet. Oh, no.
Sorry, Kevin.
Sorry,
So much
Kevin.
of what people
We
eat.
love
He
you.
likes fish.
Oh, you like fishies. You like the fishy friends. What about the birdies? Oh, birdies. Oh,
He
birdies.
ain't a cannibal. He would
Aw.
eat any other.
Oh, not you, because you're a birdie
not
too.
Not his type.
Aw.
More of a.
Very cute. We got to get you a hamburger. Bison, some beef. What do you think? Beef? Beef would be good for you?
I don't think he likes that.
You just like the fishy friend.
Yeah, he just
Okay.
likes fish. Sometimes you'll have the occasional sweet.
One day we're going to raid Universal and we're going to catch that shark and you're going to get your first bite. Yes, you are, Kevin. Yes, you are. We love you so much.
Kevin's a little overwhelmed.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Kevin?
Okay, Kevin, I'm sorry. I'm a little bit of a dramatic person.
Kevin's confused. He doesn't know much about anything off of that.
Oh, that's okay.
This is his whole life.
Well,
He
I
was-
love you, Kevin. Did you?
Yeah.
He loves me too. Aw, thank you, Kevin. Ooh, kiss my camera. I think it loves my camera more than me, but I love you. Thank you.
He thought it was the camera talking.
Do it, Chris. Please don't. Don't do it. No! No, Chris, no. I'm sorry. I filmed instead of doing anything.